David Eagle,
Here.
Joe Kaiser,
Here.
Susan Jack.
Present.
We have a quorum. I have a moment of silence, please. Okay, approval of the agenda. I have a motion for approval of the agenda.
Second motion.
Ron makes a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Susan seconds, all those in favor? Motion carries. Okay, have you had a chance to review our minutes?
I make a
June
motion.
17,
Yeah.
24.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes for June 17th as written.
Do I have a second? Second. Joe, approval for, motion made by Susan, seconded by Joe, those in favor?
Aye.
17 is taken care of. Now for the 25th.
The 25th is the day we had that 6-minute meeting. 24, 24,
24, sorry, that needs to be
Should be a one page in there.
changed. Okay,
It says June 25 on there.
okay. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I make the motion.
Ron makes a motion, second.
Second.
Seconded by Susan, those in favor? Now, property owner discussion, please step up to the mic. Your name and your property where you live. 3 minutes, please.
We're gonna come a little closer to it.
Okay, I'm Roxanne Heather, and I live on East Lake Drive. I just have 2 questions. I wasn't able to come to the beach meeting, the special meeting I had.
To what meeting?
The beach meeting?
She wasn't able to come to the beach meeting, she
Oh.
said, the special meeting.
I was informed.
There.
I don't know.
I know, but there's so many loud. Have it. Okay.
Okay. Into?
We're gonna see.
Anyway, but what I see it's on the agenda, maybe, I'll learn it, but I read it in the paper, because one of them said that my niece comes to visit, and her daughter, and they want to go to the beach, I have to go to the beach with them every time they want to go. We're not going to have a guest party.
Isn't that correct? If they want gas passes, she has to be there.
That is correct. That is what Joel said at the last meeting.
That's correct.
Okay, the other thing is, if they're coming to visit, and they rent a house, are those people going to be able to come?
People who come and rent a home, like an Airbnb, they would not be able to use the beach.
How about renting from like a realtor?
We treat the annual renters the same as we always have. That hasn't changed. If they bring in a lease that shows that they're renting, then they'll get a guest card that will expire when their lease is up.
No, I meant just a visit. Like when we came down here in 1970, we came down here and we got to do all the amenities.
You'll get to do all the amenities except for the beach. The beach is
Well,
going
that's
to
one thing that sold us.
yeah, the beach is going to be, what they voted was the beach would be private to the property owners and their guests. It would not be open to the public.
That's what I read.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Howard. Anybody else?
property owners. Okay, let's move on to old business. Susan, we have an update from you on the planning committee.
The planning committee, we're calling ourselves a study group so that people don't think that we are taking anything for granted and we're going to make any decisions. We have tentatively, didn't I see Paul walk in? We have drafted some bylaws and I'll have those available for you after we get them typed up. But the point of the meeting was the other day that we've pretty much decided on a committee. We're going to meet once a month and we will have ideas to submit to the Suburban Improvement District Commissioners before the end of the year, or we will disband. We've been dithering about how to focus. So we've got that to our amenities and we're not looking to go outside of the city or to the county or to the state. We're just going to focus on our Cherokee Village. And it was well attended and we were out at 55 minutes.
We have to sign the bylaws because we need a change to them about Hitchcock Beach, so I'll pass them around the original. We all sign. Next on the agenda, we have the firehouse future update. I've got a letter here that we are going to send to Mayor Rose and the council members. I'm going to read it so everybody knows where we're coming from. I write to let you know the Cherokee Village Suburban Improvement District, number 1, intends to obtain certified appraisals to Baystar Fire Station, Kiva Fire Station, and Naga Fire Station. As you know, CID owns the fire station, but the city has occupied them as a tenant for approximately 20 years. Beginning January 1st, 2020, and pursuant to the Gronkowski settlement order, CID prior to 15 December 2015 had a written contract with the city for the lease of the fire stations expired. After the expiration, CID and the city did not enter into the subsequent written contract for the lease of fire stations. That said, the city now occupies the fire stations as a tenant pursuant to an oral month-to-month lease agreement. CID is obtaining appraisals because it intends to sell the stations. However, before CID puts the stations on the market, CID is encouraging the city to approach it and admit the city wishes to purchase the fire stations. CID will give consideration to any offer from the city before it puts the stations on the market. I will look forward to hearing from you. Please reach out if you have any questions.
I have a question. First of all, I think we as a committee agreed to all that.
Yeah, we did.
No, I didn't. I didn't agree to it. We just said we were going to talk about it. There was no discussion. There was no motion made. There was nothing said that this is what we're going to do. Yeah, then you look up the minutes, it's not there. I did not agree to that. Yeah, I just was finding out. We just said it was new business. We brought up as a proposal from last meeting to come here for consideration today, what our future was going to be about it and what we could do. I was not aware that we were going to go ahead and say, okay, we want to buy this. And yes, that's, from my point of view, I don't want to spend the money on appraisals. I don't want to sell it to the city. If anything, I've got other ideas of what I'd rather do. And so I just don't think that we discussed this in length of what we exactly want. I mean, if this is what the majority of the commission wants to do, then that's one thing. But we haven't had a discussion on it fully yet.
It's an old business, so
Yes.
this is our update for today. Sounds like we got some discussion from Tony.
And I think Tony is correct. We did not discuss it.
No, we just said we talked about it,
All right.
and basically we asked Betsy to move forward.
Get a letter from the
What did the attorney say?
All I said, what I did is I requested a letter, and this is the letter that they provided.
Okay. So we haven't had so we have no contract at this time, is that correct?
No lease,
No, it's,
No, we do not have.
It expired in 2020. So
It
what we're
expired
looking
in
at is,
2015, is what our letter says. And
it
we've
expired in
been-
2015.
We've been month to month, year to year, ever since then, it's an oral agreement, is what our letter says to the city.
Okay, and what is the cost?
There is no.
They don't, they say anything about it.
No.
So now you're proposing that we sell the firehouses. But it said that we're going to get appraisals put on the market when we see first consideration.
And that's where we asked Betsy to move forward and start that ball rolling.
Right, we didn't say it's not what we said we were going to agree to yet. We didn't say anything. We just said we're going to get the letter.
It's just a conversation.
Yeah, it's just a conversation. It's a conversation. So now,
We asked Betsy to look into appraisals and to contact the lawyers to draw
Look into
possibly
appraisals.
draw a letter to ask the city to start discussing. And that's what this is right
okay,
here.
so here's, like I said, we have as a commission has not agreed to anything yet.
Correct.
Okay.
So we agreed to ask Betsy to.
I got that. Like I said, we haven't agreed to what we want to do with the fire.
Correct. So, yes.
So is there a motion on what we want to do with the firehouses?
Right now, we're having a discussion.
Okay.
Ron?
Well, if you talk to the firemen, they would assume that they're going to be able to be at those fire stations while they're employed. And we need to really support the fire station people, whether we get any money from them or not. Think about the people, our property owners, who then wouldn't have fire protection. So we really want to keep our firemen. I mean, we've already lost a bunch of them anyway, because we paid. So that's why we wrote down the 3 fire stations when we had from work. And when you look back at history, I'm a little bit surprised that we didn't have an automatic continuation on the lease, Betsy, but that's the way we've been doing business, handshake over handshake a lot of times. And I guess we could go back and ask them to pay a little bit. You know,
Here's the
you have
thing.
your lease.
We are responsible for the buildings, plus we pay the insurance on the buildings. So how do we recoup our money on that?
Well, here's some ideas. One, we can either deed it over to them, let them have the fire stations, so they can take care of them, and we're not responsible for the upkeep of the taxes or insurance or anything like that. Or we can sell it to them at a very low price, $5 a building, just to say it's we can't, if we're not allowed to deed it, so that they can take over these buildings and take care of it. They've been taken care of, and then we know that they'll be there, and that we have fire protection for the city.
Joe? you want to say?
Basically, what we're saying is we would like for these to change hands from our possession into the city. Whatever we can feel like is an appropriate amount, like Tony would say, $5 or $1 or whatever, passes the responsibility of insurance and upkeep and all that, and taxes and so forth, from SID to the city on the firehouses. So, I would be for doing something like that to get them out of our possession. We have no business with the fire stations. It's hard enough to take care of what we got, so.
But guys, when those needed to the SID and Mr. Cooper,
Yes.
so what legal footing do we have to allow us to give them away because they were for the benefit of our property owner?
That's what we find. I think if we go that route, then we don't need appraisals, so we don't have to spend that kind of money on appraisals.
Josie,
Go ahead.
I thought the purpose of trying to sell the firehouses was to try and recoup some of the money that we paid on the fire hydrants to bring that So that was really where the initial seed was planted by a conversation that the city stated, which would have been our fire chief and our mayor. So I don't know if that was just a misspoken part of their side, but that's kind of where the seed was planted, was a way for us to recoup those funds that we had to pay for the fire hydrants. So that's the only input I have in how we got to this conversation. However we move forward is up to y'all.
Like Betsy said, it was us and the lawyers there when we were in negotiations, mediation. And that's when this originally came up between the lawyers and Betsy and I. Some way of improving the money that we had to pay for the fire hydrants. So lease them, sell them. As long as we're paying the insurance and all this stuff on, we should be able to get our money back somehow.
There's drastic straws for overall value of each property.
Right.
I know appraisals cost, but we're just sort of guessing in the wind how much they would be worth, unless we have something concrete to go about. And if they did come back and say, well, we're $200,000 a piece, then we could decide, if we decided to sell it for $1, then that's an educated response.
Right.
At the moment, we're just grasping at unknowns.
So,
If, like I said though, if we decide not to sell them what they're worth, just for $1, $5, or just to deed them over, an appraisal is needed, and then you're spending money on something that's not needed, you just let it give it to them, let them take over, let them handle it. They've already taken care of it, as far as I can recall, are they not? So, I mean, I don't know if they'd be in favor of that or not, but something not just selling us, maybe this is something else we can explore. If we choose to, we might need to find out what the city would be willing to do, because they may not be willing to buy these firehouses, and then we'll start with no fire department here in the village. I'm not sure I want that.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, but as I say,
Or is that our
that's,
responsibility? We don't have anything to do with it.
well, I understand it's our responsibility. I'm not going to free market, I'm just going to say,
You know how social media works.
That'll be the next step on Facebook. You just said.
I think we'll go forward with an appraisal so we know what we have. What we have. We have no idea what we have on the appraisal on fire stations.
Basically, we have a general idea what the appraisal would be, is like everything that you do, $600-700 to get an appraisal.
I could reach out to a couple of different companies and ask them what they would charge for 3 commercial appraisals for the next meeting. How's that?
Sounds good.
Okay?
Bring us a figure back, and then we can decide what we're going to move on that.
Okay.
So it's still, technically, at the moment, it's still in discussion.
Old business.
Correct, so it hasn't been decided on the moment.
And we leave it on business.
With one exception, and we need to make a motion to provide Betsy the authority to talk and negotiate a assignee with a number of realtors to see what the appraisals would cost. Or it's got to be you, Mr. David.
So I have a motion for that.
I make that motion.
Susan makes the motion, do I have a second? Move forward with the appraisal. Betsy, move forward with the appraisal.
I'm sorry, with the appraisal?
And Joe, can give me second.
Get us prices for the appraisal.
Price of company appraisal,
Prices.
Now, a second.
that's the way that needs to be.
Ron, did you second?
I took the second.
Ron, second. Those in
They want to
favor?
know about the limit, and I'd like to know what it costs us to see what our next
We're not
steps
agreeing.
are.
We're not agreeing with it.
No, that's a different, we're coming up with a find out what that first step is.
Correct.
And what the next one.
Okay, those in
Let me
favor?
ask you this, I can't hear a thing over here with all the sidebars going on that side, so if you want to talk about that, go do your 3 minutes, but I can't hear a copy of that, so.
So the
Motion
motion,
over sidebar until we finish this discussion. My question is this,
day, and
You'll stand up here.
we discussed the bow fishing tournament on Lake Omaha only. And we didn't want to disturb the other lakes, and if it goes good, then we would come back to the city board and maybe propose on, say, Thunderbird or Sequoia or something like that. We proposed that the tournament would be the 6th and 7th of September, and then the following week would be allowed bow fishing for anybody that didn't want in the tournament. It was going to be roughly $15 a boat for the SID fees to get on the lakes. And then we were going to charge not an additional, but take the $15 out of their entry fee and add $50 a team, and then pay the remaining money back to the top 3 placings of the tournament. We were going to have a 5-fish limit. That does not say that they can't take more than 5 fish, but they can only weigh 5 fish in. And it was just going to be those days. I was going to get with Joe and his son and daughter-in-law and try to get some more stuff worked out and flyer times and, you know, get some flyers printed out and stuff like that. But we needed your approval on the dates before we did that.
My initial thoughts on that is, and this is just from kind of researching a little bit about both tournaments, is the weight factor, like going by weight, is going to be darn near impossible. You're talking about critters that weigh 60 pounds. I don't even have a set of scales that can go that high.
Okay.
So a lot of those tournaments go by length or the number of fish that you guys bring in a big barrel. They put these barrels in their boats and they dump the carp in them, and then they come back and say, well, I got 18 or I got 12. And the guy with the most wins. That's kind of the way it works, because weight is really, really difficult. Unless somebody's got a copper scale, we ain't going to be able to weigh. And the fee thing, but now the board has to decide on that. My personal opinion is that we don't charge them anything. They throw their $50 in the hat for a tournament, but it's 100% payback. It all goes back to the guy's boat fishing. And Sid doesn't get a nickel out of it because we're asking them to do us a favor by going in and eradicating some of the fish that are there. So I would personally rather see it just open for those few days, that Sid doesn't have to issue a permit, that these guys get to boat fish on that particular day and those other following days. And there's no doubt they're going to know what they're doing because they got huge lights on their boats and generators, and it's going to be chaos for those few days. It's going to be loud and very lit up. But when that's over, it's over, and then we'll have, I bet they'll get rid of 150, 200 cars, maybe more than that.
We were thinking the hours of starting the tournament at 6, and all boats must be off the lake by 10.
Yeah, we may have to do it till like 10:30, just because.
And then
we got about an hour and a half of dark at the moment right now.
And then even on the regular days afterward, the boats still
Yeah,
have to be
on
off the
regular
lake by
days,
10.
I would allow those guys to hunt them during the day or even at night.
Yes.
So you can say on those regular days, it's wide open.
Oh, okay.
I mean, whatever, if they want to go out there in the middle of the day and shoot them,
Right.
I don't think they're going to see very many, but they could. If they want to do it in the evening, they're allowed to do that as well. But tournaments, for practical purposes, are at night
Right.
on those. So I would suggest 10:30 or 11, just because it gives them more dark to do what they're doing. Because it gets dark now about 9 o'clock, or just a little after 9.
So I would think on your tournament, staying out there till 11 on a Friday or Saturday night wouldn't be a big deal. But if we're gonna do the 3 days during the week, which was a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I don't think that we should be out there till 11 if we've got during the week. I think 10 o'clock on that Monday, Wednesday,
Yeah.
Friday, we would be okay till 11.
I would agree with that.
Do you want to, you don't want to charge any fee at all for your daily fishing so that we know who's out there and have some kind of control
What did he want to do?
He said that he thought we should charge some kind of minimal fee, just so that we knew who was getting on the lane, making sure they have some kind of sticker or placard on their boat or something that says you're insured, you've checked in through the city office, and we know that you're out there.
Could we have them come in and register at the city office before they go out, and you could just print them out an 8x10 sheet that they have to have within their possession?
And we could register right there on the boat ramp.
Right, or they could register there. We need to make it as simple for us as we can. I don't want to have to print new stickers and
Yep.
go through all that garbage for specific cards. If we could figure out a way to make it easy, I think it'd be a great idea.
So what would you suggest the fee would be for the daily? You said 50 for the tournament, and all that goes back to your payouts.
Right.
What would you say would be a daily? And we're not gonna do a sticker, so we're really not gonna have to expensive to it.
Right.
$10, $5?
Whatever the commissioners, I would say, since they're doing us a favor, I'd say nothing. Just come in and get your piece of paper and register and show us proof of insurance. You can both fish for those 3 days. But if the board would rather do different, they can. And that is another thing, we'll have to pay lake safety to be there those days, so we may need to recoup that fee. What's y'all's opinion? Just throw it out.
Would $10 a boat cover, how many boats do you think it would be?
I would imagine.
Just your base right there.
15 to 20 boats, maybe 25.
That's what
I mean, if it's a big tournament, it'll be 25, probably 15 to 20.
So for that's going to be some additional lake safety hours, how much money do we need? Would $10 a boat be fair to cover, just to cover our minimum?
That's very cheap. If they're really into boat fishing, anybody would have $10 to come out and shoot 60-pound carp. So, I would agree with that. I mean, I think that's a good thing. I don't want to charge them $50 or something. And we're going to need to make sure, maybe get Mr. Klein to make sure that we've got it understood that whatever they take out of that lake, they can't put it back in the lake, they can't throw it in garbage cans that leave. They got to haul it off, find a haul farmer somewhere that needs some feed. We don't dump them out back in the lake. No one.
So is that why y'all need to get hold of the sports village and the people who were talking about the right sheet?
Razorback archery?
Razorback archery, we know who does that. It's out of my wheelhouse. I don't know anybody. sign something when they're in there, because we are going to need proof of insurance and so forth. And they have to sign that saying, I understand that, I can't throw them all that away. We can't have a bunch of dead cars around the lake. And that may be that's a possibility anyway. If they get one to miss, and it's a possibility, you'll have a couple more around. There won't be that many, so.
Okay, so basically what we're down to right now is they need to know if the 6th and 7th of September is good with us, so they can proceed. Correct?
I need a motion.
I need a motion for that.
And that is the
11th
weekend
and
after.
13th. 9th, 11th, and 13th are the 3 days of the week following.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, 11th.
And the motion will be for the tournament, bow fishing tournament on September 6th and 7th, followed by Monday, Wednesday, open hunting, or bow fishing season on Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
9th, 11th, and 13th. Correct.
So you need 2 motions on that, Attorney? For 2 on that?
Who's making the motion?
Need two motions?
Governor Sexton, no?
I just need one motion.
Motion's on the floor now, Tony.
Moves it, motion.
Totally makes a motion.
I was trying to get it right.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ron seconds, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
for your hard work. Thank you.
Okay, GM update, here we go.
South Forest irrigation has been completed. Everything is done there. They're super happy. I don't have the number of modules we were able to retrieve, but we were able to retrieve some of those modules that we can use at this course and save us that money when it comes time to make those repairs on that old system. Ralph was really happy with it. Things are flowing right along. The course looks really good. Financials, I've got a set copy of the financials. Those are our new financials that are pretty from our new software. I think they're pretty easy to read. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, contact us, email us, and we'll be glad to answer any questions for you. The irrigation letter update, I think that anyone that lives on the lake has received one of those letters. We had several phone calls that came back and asked a lot of questions, and we were able to add them to our list of people who currently have pumps in the lake and were irrigating. We did not have them on our list, and we added those names to our list. In this next week, since we've had no rain, we'll be riding around checking our addresses of all of our nice pretty green yards, and we'll go back and do a little further investigation on those. But that's kind of the status of what's going on with the irrigation. I have agreed with Hometown Radio to do some advertising for the restaurant and for Base Mart. It's a new business program. We're going to be able to split it between the two and advertise both over the next 13 weeks. So that will help us maybe get a little word out there and increase some stays at the campground. Pardon?
Who is that with?
Hometown Radio. They've got kind of a new business package that they called and offered to us, so we're going to go in that direction. I've reached out to the billboard company to get some pricing. Hopefully by the next meeting I'll be able to get some pricing. I'm interested in trying to do a billboard for our campground on the highway coming through Harding. So they would stop at us before they would go to Riverbend and Mammoth Springs and going on up the highway that direction. But the billboard that I would be interested in promoting the golf courses, I would want to put out on the highway around Casey's for those people coming from Jonesboro and Missouri that are going towards Belleville and Horseshoe and Mountain Home for golfing experiences. I believe that they said they could put a banner across the south course that would just put the cafe on there, and it would be something we can put on or take off, just depending on what time of year it is. And those are the prices that I have not received back yet. The way I understand it,
you should be able to get one unlighted. The closer you get to a business, the more expensive they are. So those like down here, Mike Watson's got stuff in front of McDonald's over $600 on the signs. The closer you get where there's no lighting or not by a business, it's less. But I know, because I'm paying mine every month. For 3 years.
And are you receiving a return on it? Obviously, you kept it 3 years. Do you feel like it's drawing traffic to you?
We just, honestly, at this point, we say take it down, but I almost never hear a single person come in.
Hey, it's hard to go.
I mean, almost never.
Do y'all ask?
I've never asked. It's the same thing with the radio advertising, and that's a local business.
Yeah.
Your radio advertising with that company really just benefits that company and keeps them alive. It absolutely receives zero interest or return. And you can ask, we've researched it, we've had the punches where people have responded to stuff, and it is almost zero. Even K Country 95 up there, and we advertised for years, I wish I had all that money back, but you would get zero response. So I don't know if they were doing it. And we did the ball games, we did the basketball, we did the football, nothing. I mean, because we're in a different world now. Nobody listens to the radio. You listen to the radio, you're listening to Sirius XM. You're not tuning in to local radio stations. So that's just my 2 cents. It doesn't mean a nickel. I'm just telling you. But that's about where you're at.
If you get rid of that billboard, that'd be a great spot for us.
Don't let me twist my arm very hard.
And that's all I have to update.
Okay, any more questions for Betsy?
Let me say one more thing. I would like to suggest, and I'm sorry that I didn't put this on here, I would like to suggest that y'all vote on our next steps with our lake management. I mean, I feel like that the next step for us to get into the budget for, 2 months, I'm going to be working on budgets again. And we're going to start stocking the lakes. And it seems like the money that we put in the budget to stock the lake this year would go to good use for shocking and getting an inventory of what we're going to need so that I can get a good number for stocking. We've done 2 rounds of our treatments with our chemicals. I'm seeing algae now as it's heating up. That will be our next round, which will come in August. But if we're gonna stock them, we need to know what we're gonna stock them with. And I think that starts with by reading this report, shocking those lakes, and getting an idea of what we've got in there. I think he gave us an estimated cost of $12,000 to $2,000 per lake, depending on which lake. So maybe we don't shock them all this year, but let's shock our big ones. Let's see what we're going to have and get some pricing so that I know what it's going to cost to stock them.
That would 100% be my suggestion, is that we move forward with the biological survey and shocking. And just so everybody understands, they do not kill any of the fish. It stuns them, they measure them, weigh them, take information, biological information, and put them back in the lake, and they're as good as they were when they started. But it gives us a basis of what we need to put back in the lake, what kind of food forage do they need to stock, what kind of fish do we need to put in. And that's valuable information. And the price he gave us per lake is really unheard of. That's so cheap that if you check around the state, when you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars to come in and shop those lakes and give you a biological survey. So I don't know his equipment. He may be out there with a 1918 telephone box. If he needs to borrow one, I've got one. I'm kidding. But, I think, personally, I'd like to see us move forward with that.
Well, so would y'all make a motion tonight to let me move forward with Mr. Klein to get pricing for each one of the lakes so that our next meeting we can vote on which lakes to move forward with? Would be about the right time of season for that.
Yeah, I could give you the top 3 that I would do immediately, and that would be Thunderbird, Sequoia, and really Sequoia is a new point because we're going to drain that in 25, so it doesn't matter what's in that lake, other than they flow back and forth through the canal. But I probably would not do Sequoia. I would say Thunderbird, Omaha, and Chinook. Let's get a feel for what's in those 3 lakes, and then next spring maybe we go into the small ones, see where we're at.
Sounds good. Okay. Someone make that motion?
We didn't discuss this before. more discussion before we turn it over to the property owner? Ron?
No, sir.
No. Joe? No. Susan?
No, sure, thank you.
Property owners, you have the mic for 3 minutes, long time.
Anybody?
Name?
Craig McCoy, and I live at 37 Keosauqua Drive, Cherokee Village. We do a lot of late evening fishing and sometimes into the night, and where Thunderbird, Sequoia, and Omaha ramps are, there's not adequate lighting to be safely going off and on the lake in the dark. And Omaha's got a light there that doesn't work. And then Sequoia and Thunderbird, neither one have lights at all. You use the parking lot lights across the street, and that's the best you got. And what I'd like for you to do is consider or talk about putting in a pole that each one with a light on it to kind of make it safer for the community using the evenings and the night.
I think the light there is actually a vapor light there at the Omaha ramp, and it is non-working at the moment. It blinks and all kinds of stuff, so it does everything to work.
That's
But that belongs to the co-op, the way I understand it, right?
So I spoke to Chris to make sure we were paying the bill for the lease light, and we are. The second light is actually on the building, only works if there's lights power to the marina, to the little building or to the little shop there. So I'm not sure why it's flickering. I know on Friday last week, somebody had gone out and messed with the light switch on the pole and had turned it on and turned the lights on to the marina. I'm not sure who was out there playing with that, but George did say somebody had been out there messing with it. So,
The Sequoia ramp is kind of a geographical anomaly because it sits way down in there and it's quite a distance from a pole. So we would need to talk to Energy, that would be Energy, and see what their suggestions are. And you wouldn't want to set a pole in the parking lot. You may have to put 2 to get a wire adequately to that spot. It might be expensive, but I think it needs to be looked into. The one on Omaha is already there. We just need to make sure it's working. I'm glad you brought that up because I had forgotten to bring this up. Is that on the Omaha Marina there is absolutely no way that anybody can charge their batteries on their boats. They just sit there and just go dead. Craig can attest to that because he had to come pull me out one day when I was fixing a buoy on my battery went dead. If there was some way that we could install 2 little poles with 4 plugs in each one that are GFIs, so they'll kick if they get wet, put them in a rainproof box. And I think we probably know an electrician that might be able to do that. But do that, wire up to the little building, and kick those lights on. Then your vapor light would work. Then you would have power out there to those docks, and people could share. And it would have to be an honor system. You could not go out there and run a portable air conditioner or put a gigantic box fan out there to cool everybody off in their bathing suits. So it would be for charging purposes only, and then you could decide, or the board could decide if you want to charge an additional fee for electricity use, but I don't see how you would ever regulate it. Somebody would say, I ain't gonna pay for that, then they go down and plug in. So maybe just as a courtesy, we got 4 plugs down there and plug your boats in.
are you going to do that at Thunderbird and Sequoia too, or you just want to do it?
Well, Thunderbird has it.
No, they don't have access to be able to charge their boats.
There's no power on Thunderbird Marine.
The marina itself has power that
Right.
Jason pays an electric bill on.
Well, then we need 2 plugs at the Thunderbird and 2 plugs at home. So everybody can charge it. Sequoia, it would be hard to do. If you might as well just put 1 on Sequoia. You're going to do 1 great. And I can tell you right now, we're on the upswing of this thing because she has gotten, how in the world you did that, I don't know. But she's gotten Mel, who used to own the restaurant over in the town center a years ago. And then she's worked at Carol's for eons, and she's kind of slowed down a little bit, but she's running the cafe now. How lucky could we possibly be? And she makes the best